Good evening everyone, a bit of an impromptu video from me. I wasn't expecting to make this video tonight, but I only just read this story and it's pretty much hot off the wire. I didn't know that it would end like this, and it's really sad that it has. So this is about Lochan and Whitney. I'm sure you're all up to date with the drama surrounding their breakup earlier this year and how there was this central allegation that Lochan had called Whitney's skin dirty. Well, this has now gone several steps further and in a direction that a lot of people often say things should go, but they don't because of lack of resources, etc. That's the main reason why a lot of people don't enter litigation, because lawyers are so expensive. But it looks like this might actually be going that way. Have a look at this article that's just come out. Love Island is to star in its first ever blockbuster legal battle as two of its stars go to war over a racial slur. I just like to say, I don't like the way they've framed that first line there, as if it's some sort of movie, a blockbuster legal battle. It's not. It's quite serious. When things go to court, it's not a joke. Lochan Noaki, 27, is suing his reality TV ex, Whitney Adebayo, after she publicly accused him of calling his skin dirty. In a video watched over 3.5 million times, she claimed his mum joked, "Where's Whit gone?" when the lights went out, before adding, "Whit, smile." Distraught Lochan has now instructed the same lawyers who represented David Walliams in his legal dispute with Britain's Got Talent. The case, dubbed Love Island's Agatha Christie, is expected to get underway in the coming weeks. A source said there have been repeated attempts to step back from the abyss. Whitney was given the opportunity to apologise publicly for her remarks, but she doubled down instead. Lochan wants the world to know he is taking action against her. Half the people out there still think he's a racist because of what she said about him. Just not right, and it has to be corrected. He would rather avoid court, but there doesn't seem to be any alternative. The Insider said his particulars of claim, a formal legal outline of the case, have now been drafted. They will set out in detail the damage done to Lochan's reputation in the wake of her claims. His mum, Kulminda, will also be named in the action. Lochan is suing Whitney in the High Court for defamation and malicious falsehood and is seeking substantial damages. Last night, a spokeswoman for Whitney, also 27, said Whitney has instructed her own legal team and is very confident in her position. If any claim is issued by Mr. Noaki, it'll be vigorously defended. The couple starred in the 2023 series of the ITV dating show and were the bookies' favourite to win the final, but they were beaten into second place by Sammy Root and Jess Harding. The pair remained together until April after a turbulent relationship and have traded blows ever since. Their feud reached boiling point early this month after Whitney, who is of Nigerian descent, posted an explosive TikTok video watched by millions. In it she said, "Lochan, are we really doing this? Are we really going to go for the nice boy puppy dog eye look, really?" Back to the situation of how it happened. We were walking back from lunch, going back to his place, and I was like, "Babe, look how my skin glistens in the sun." And he looked at me and he was like, "It's dirty." And then only when I lashed out, he was like, "It was a joke, it was a joke." He was crying. I'm sure you're all up to date with how the situation unfolded, and you can catch up by watching the many videos online about it. But this looks like it's got very serious very quickly. I think the big problem here with the court case is, as I'm sure some of you are aware, is often, sadly, it's the person with the deepest pockets who can do the best in these kind of legal situations. So that's down to who has the most money. They can, I mean, Lochan's family guys have hired the same lawyer who represented David Walliams when he believed he was unfairly dismissed from Britain's Got Talent for making nasty comments towards contestants. A case he won, even though I actually knew one of the contestants he'd been really rude to. I've met her, and, you know, I'm sure she was telling the truth. But, you know, he still got a huge payout from that. I mean, it really did get a really good payout. And he's managed to carry on doing his children's books and all this kind of things. I'm not a big David Walliams fan, but my point is, if Lochan's family can afford that same lawyer, you know, I'm thinking, wow, that's a lot of money. I sincerely hope Whitney also has lots of money and is able to hire an equally as good a lawyer to take this on. I'm not sure whether this is the kind of thing that should even go to court, because it's he said, she said. I'm not sure how one can prove that someone said something unless there were witnesses there who actually heard him say those things. Obviously there are texts, there are messages back and forth between the families about what was said. You know, they'll need a lot of evidence. But look at what Lochan's doing. He's suing to protect his reputation because he's losing work as a result of people thinking he's a racist. It ties into the video I did yesterday when I was talking about Naya Sienna and Dijon. And if Dijon believes what Naya is saying is completely untrue, this is the kind of action Dijon would have to take in order to make a stand. That's the kind of thing that often brings it to an end. When you say, right, I'm consulting lawyers, I'm taking this action, you are now going to have to respond. That normally does set things kind of alight. And I'm very curious. This is quite a big thing when you think about it. It's really quite massive. What a shame, though. They seem like such a great couple on Love Island. I was kind of rooting for them, and Lochan had his cooking thing, and things seemed to be going really well. And then, I guess behind the scenes, things weren't great, things were falling apart. And in many ways, I wish they'd broken up earlier so that we never got down this road and we never have to kind of end in this really awful way. Because I feel like if Lochan wins, then it could make Whitney look like there was some dishonesty there in the accusations. And if Whitney wins, then it will make Lochan look like a confirmed racist. A bit like the whole Noel Clarke thing this week. He was accused by all these women. He then said, I'm going to prove my innocence and take the Guardian to court and prove all these allegations are false. And the judge said, no, the Guardian was right. You were a sex pest. And now he looks like a complete fool. And he looks like a confirmed sex pest. So there we go. So anyway, thoughts below, guys, on this. What do you think? And I guess this is a new chapter for Love Island, but a chapter that none of us really wanted to see opened. Now, of course, just to say, I am aware there have been other Love Island cases. I'm not dismissing the one with Georgia Harrison and Stephen Bear, but that was about a completely separate matter, and he was rightfully found guilty in that case. And he was a bit of a scuzzbucket. So there we go. Anyway, guys, comments below. What do you think the lay of the land is in this situation? And who do you think is likely to come out of this the best? Thanks for watching, and catch you later.